Hi, Polsakis. Good News Planet. This is very exciting for me because this is a subject that is very dear to my heart and to my life, actually. Help celebrate, and everybody's life, actually, that's what we're going to learn. Help celebrate National Pollinator Week, June 21st and 27th, how the 4-Hers are learning about the importance of pollinators and how they are essential component to global food production. And this is, I think we're all going to be in awe to realize how important the pollinators are. And today we have on the line here 4-H Team Pollinator Ambassador, Grace Moeller from Minnesota. Hi, Grace. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Actually, Grace is from Blue Earth County. Is that right?
Yep.
You know, Grace, I'll just say here that I hold up very often the picture from NASA from the moon. And that Mother Earth's picture is known as the blue marble. It might be the most famous photo of Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is what we're going to be talking about here and those that are living here. And we also have a rancher. This is super. And 4-H mom, actually, Natalie Kovarik. Hi, Natalie. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Paul. Thanks for having us on.
I'm so excited. All right, 4-H. So who would like first maybe to say what is 4-H for those that might not know?
Yeah, I'll take that. This is Grace.
Thank you.
So 4-H is a national program. It's usually sponsored by usually the state university within that school. State, I know mine is partnered through the University of Minnesota here in Minnesota, and it's a youth program. It helps youth get involved not only in ag, but many different things. I know a lot of people, when they think about 4-H, they think like, oh, show cattle and show sheep and things like that. But there are plenty different. There's photography projects, there's food projects, there's clothing projects, basically anything under the sun you can participate in through 4-H. So it's a great opportunity to get to know other kids and just a fun time.
And it's national. It's not international. I'm not sure about that part, but and it's a great important program. So Mom Rancher, that's a great thing. Tell us a little bit about this week's program, and actually tell us a little bit about your ranch too.
Yeah, so I guess the second question first. My husband and I, we ranch in central Nebraska, and we are a little bit heavier on the livestock side, so we run cattle more than we farm. But, I grew up in agriculture. I'm very passionate about it. And then the importance of what we're talking about today, which is Pollinator Week, it's just a holiday to celebrate, as you would guess, pollinators. And we just want to bring awareness about, as you kind of mentioned, how they impact our lives, how important they are to food production. So 1 in every 3 bites we eat is actually a result of pollinators. So about 35% of the world's food crop is dependent on them. And I think instinctively we're naturally going to go to bees and honeys, but it is so much more beyond that. So apples, pumpkins, tomatoes, coffee, buckwheat. There's actually over 1,200 crops that are dependent on pollinators. So we cannot stress the importance they play in our food production. And then, just beyond that, when it comes to the environment, they're, crucial for wildlife and soil erosion, and they play a role in medicine, and they're involved in the fiber production. So, cotton. So we're just really excited to be on air with you talking about how important they are and, how we want to keep them around for years to come.
There you go. Okay. In fact, I'm going to emphasize 35% of the world's food crops are the result of pollinating species. Now, pollinating species, this is a little interesting for me, a lot interesting. Here's the pollinators, it says here. Birds, bats, bees, butterflies, beetles, and other small mammals that pollinate plants are responsible for bringing us 1 out of every 3 bites of food, okay? So, I think probably, as you said there, most people think about bees, right? Isn't that sort of like what we sort of consider the pollinators? But there are other small, beautiful, wonderful animals in this world that do that as well. That's good news. So that's really super. All right, so tell us what happened. Teens as Teachers. What is that program?
Yeah, so it's really an approach on how I do my work as a pollinator ambassador. So my main goal is right now is I go out to elementary classrooms and kind of youth programs with those kind of 3rd through 6th grade age and a little bit younger. But I really educate them on the connection between pollinators and the environment, and then supporting pollinators in their efforts to combat climate change by building up those pollinator habitats that reduces soil erosion, and plants are great for regulating the carbon cycle and taking some CO2 out of the air through pollinators. But back to the Teens as Teachers approach, I'm helping kids learn skills from people who, they see themselves as the future. I know when I was a little kid, it was hard to see myself as a big adult, but I could maybe see myself more as a high schooler. So coming into those kids and helping them develop their leadership skills and helping me develop my own personal leadership skills through teaching was super great.
So who introduced you to the 4-H?
Well, my mom did 4-H as a kid, so it's just been in the family, and it's been great, and I love it. It's one of my favorite highlights of my summer every year.
Aha, okay. And Natalie, who introduced you? How did you get involved?
I was not fortunate enough to be like Grace and to be involved when I was younger, and looking back, I wish I would have, so I encourage any young kids listening to do so. But my husband grew up involved in it, and then so my exposure now has been through him, and then having our kids be a part of it. So my oldest son is a part of it, and when my 2 youngest get old enough, I will definitely have them be a part of 4-H too.
There you go. So what are some of the things that you as a mom and such a significant involvement, what are some of the things that you've been doing with them that you've been really proud of?
So my son, we are involved, kind of as Grace mentioned, what we initially think of when we hear 4-H. So we show cattle, and that has been a big learning curve for me, but something that our family has really enjoyed. It has brought us together, and we've learned new things, and it's quality time together out in the barn, but also when we head to shows. So it's a lot of fun.
So Grace, what would you suggest for young people? How to get involved? And what do you think the experience will be for them?
Yeah, so specifically with the Pollinator Ambassador Program, I got involved through my county. My county extension educator reached out to me in an email, and she said, hey, here's this pollinator program. I think you'd be really good at it, knowing that, you really look for the environment and things like that. So she reached out to me through an email, so definitely you can reach out to your 4-H county extension office or your state 4-H office, and then also going to 4h.org/corteva. You can get activities and more insight onto the pollinator habitat program and how it specifically works out in your state.
Do you actually get out into the fields or into the woods to see pollination occur, or do you do kinds of trips?
Yep. So there's about 8 of us here in the state of Minnesota, and we'll go out to. We actually just went out to a field last weekend, and we planted a new pollinator garden, a restorative prairie, and then we've been out to people's houses and seen their pollinator gardens, and we've been able to see some bees floating from flower to flower, and actually we're able to see an endangered bee, the rusty-patched bumblebee. So that was really exciting to see a bee that doesn't really come around that often, and see it at work. It was really, really exciting.
Wow! So you put actually, I helped start the Nature series on PBS a zillion years ago. So nature for me is a wonderful. I was a Boy Scout also, so I love what you do, and that's a wonderful thing, and it's so important. So what, you put flowers? Did you put anything else in that garden? A pollinator garden?
Yeah, so it was a...
Sorry, what else
it was a mix.
In the pollinator garden? Yeah.
Yeah, so It's a mix of native flowers. So out here in Minnesota, that's like the purple coneflower, those black-eyed Susans, things like that, along with some native grasses and milkweed. They're kind of in a big seed mix that we just scattered. So, but yeah, it was.
You have a lot of lakes out there.
Mix of grass and flower.
So the pollination near lakes, is that something smart to do as well? Do you think that helps in pollination? So you have a lot of lakes, right, in Minnesota?
Yeah, we do. So pollination near lakes and planting pollinator gardens or, native seed is actually really helpful to the lakeshore to prevent erosion as well with those native grasses. Those have really deep roots, so those will help hold the shore soil in place. So it's a great idea to plant those pollinator habitats right on the lakeshore. Totally very helpful.
Wow, you are an ambassador. Unbelievable. Phenomenal, stupendous. Thank you so much, because you are keeping our future alive. And Natalie, you must be so proud to be involved as well.
I am, and it's really great to be involved personally, but it's great to just hear people like Grace share their stories and, how they're involved, and think of all the ways, across the nation everyone's doing their part.
The next generation, like Grace, we will be able to continue to eat. It's
exactly.
Wonderful. Thank you both very much for sharing this very, very important information, and keep up the great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well. Take care. Bye-bye.